NRL 360 host Braith Anasta and Brent have aired over the Bulldogs' decision to recall Kyle Flanagan ahead of their match against the defending premiers. Bulldogs coach Trent Barrett will run out his third halves pairing of the season on Sunday when Flanagan features in the number 7 jersey. Jake Averillo, who played all of last season either at 5/8 or halfback, started in the first 2 rounds before he was axed in favour of Brandon Wakeham. Stream every game of every round of the 2022 NRL Telstra Premiership season live and ad break free during play on Kayo. New to Kayo? Try 14 days free now. Following the Dogs' 44-0 thrashing from the Storm and off the back of Flanagan's form in New South Wales Cup, Barrett will roll the dice with the 23-year-old. It will be his first NRL game since round 24 last season. Flanagan has had a rocky start to his NRL career. After just 1 season at the Roosters, he was shown the door. The Bulldogs pounced and signed him on a 3-year deal. Barrett's time ticking away at Bulldogs. 128. He was benched mid-game last season and fronted the media days later, where he became emotional. Later that afternoon, he was left out of Barrett's 17 for that round. Flanagan was recalled later in the season before being axed again and then recalled again. Anasta believes the Bulldogs have thrown Flanagan a hospital pass by bringing him back in first grade the week they take on the Panthers. However, Reid believes it's an opportunity for Flanagan. Phil Rothfield called it a major flare-up as he and Paul Kent watched on. Read the transcript below. More NRL news. Early Mail. Broncos number 9 battle heats up. Eels mystery selection after brutal cut. Real red flags. Legend calls for Broncos spine overhaul as production line fails. Power rankings. The big red flag in Broncos worrying slide as dark horse surges. Rushed in without much help. Teddy calls for patience with Roosters gun. Read. How long do you wait? When's the right time? Everyone's been saying he deserves an opportunity. He started with Jake Averillo and it hasn't worked. They haven't scored points. They played Brandon Wakeham and again they've scored no points. Everyone's been saying, when are you going to give Kyle Flanagan a go? Paul Kent. If that's the case, then why hasn't he done any training with the team? Read. He's trained with them this week. He's trained with them the whole pre-season. Anasta. He hasn't done 1 session with them in pre-season in the halves. That's the mail we've got. They also picked a centre to play in the halves over him and didn't give him the whole pre-season to train with a 5/8. He is a genuine number 7. And then you bring him in against a team that's $1.10 to beat the. Phil Rothfield. They got beat by 40 last week. You can't wait for 2 weeks as pressure builds at Canterbury. Anasta. Are they going to stick with him? Read. Well, you'd hope so, but the track record says no. Anasta. I'm assuming you spoke to Canterbury today. Are they going to stick with him? Read. The ball is in his court. If he plays well, they'll stick with him. Anasta. Because they've thrown him a hospital pass. Read. How have they thrown him a hospital pass? He's a 23-year-old kid paid $500,000 a year. This is what he's paid to do. Anasta. It doesn't matter what he's paid. What's he going to be worth if he goes out there and fails this weekend? What's he worth? Read. Well, at the moment he's got no future in the NRL anyway. Anasta. Why's he got no future? Read. Because he's not getting a run. Anasta. Exactly. Read. At least now he's getting a run, if he stands up this week. Anasta. Do you think he will? Read. I don't know. I don't think they'll win, but he just has to do his job and play well. Anasta. So what happens after that? Read. Hopefully sticks with him. Anasta. That is hilarious. Get all the latest NRL news, highlights and analysis delivered straight with Fox Sports Sport Mail. Now? Read. What do you want? Do you want them to sit him in reserve grade for the rest of the year? Anasta, I've played in the halves for nearly 300 games, I know what it's like. You've got to build confidence and belief in your players. You've got to cuddle your halves, you've got to look after your halves. They've put a centre in front of him, they've put Wakeham in front of him. They haven't trialled him in the trials next to Burton. They've made him feel like this. Their kid was crying last year in press conferences, and they throw him in against the best team of the competition by a long way, and say do your best. I think it's wrong. I hope he it, but I've been there. I've lived it and I don't like it, simple as that.